The old house on Willow Street settled into its nightly sigh as the last golden sliver of sunset vanished inside. Young Leo lay in his bed, the day's adventures fading, but a familiar, hollow ache returning in the quiet. His parents worked late shifts, and the spacious rooms often felt too big, too empty. Just for him, he pulled his quilt tighter, listening to the absolute stillness, a stillness that sometimes felt heavy. Little did Leo know, his loneliness was the conductor's silent cue as his eyelids grew heavy. The grand performance he never consciously heard, but always deeply felt, began to tune its invisible instruments. Preparing the overture of comfort only the sleeping house could play. First came the gentle hum of the refrigerator in the distant kitchen. It wasn't just a mechanical drone. Tonight, it transformed into the deep, resonant breath of a cello. Steady and grounding, its low, constant vibration traveled through the floorboards, up the legs of Leo's bed, and into his very bones. It was the sound of constancy, a reminder that warmth was preserved, that sustenance waited safely behind its door. This fundamental rhythm became the bedrock upon which the rest of the nocturnal symphony would build. A familiar pulse chasing away the sharp edge of solitude. Leo's tense shoulders relaxed slightly, sinking deeper into his pillow, unconsciously synchronizing his breathing with the appliance's dependable song. Then, the old pipes within the walls awoke with a soft, percussive knock, 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 not the alarming bang of daytime plumbing, but a delicate, rhythmic tapping, like a skilled percussionist using wooden claves. Tap, tap, pause, tap, tap, tap. It was a playful counterpoint to the fridge's drone, a secret message traveling through the house's veins. Leo imagined tiny, friendly creatures inside the walls, tapping out a reassuring code. All is well, all is well. Sleep is near. This small, rhythmic mystery wrapped around the deeper hum, adding a layer of quiet companionship that made the vastness of the house feel cozier, more inhabited. A sudden, soft creak echoed from the hallway, the sound of the ancient oak floorboard near the stairs yielding to the subtle shift in temperature as night deepened. Tonight, it wasn't a scary noise. It stretched out, long and mournful yet beautiful, becoming the rich, soulful note of a bassoon. It sang of the house's long history, of countless other nights and other dreamers who had found shelter within its walls. The sound seemed to say, "You are part of this story now, little one. Rest here, safe within these timbers that have witnessed generations." Leo felt a strange sense of belonging, a connection to the past inhabitants whose dreams might have also been cradled by this very sound. Outside, the wind began to stir, finding its voice. It didn't howl. Instead, it whispered against the windowpane beside Leo's bed. It was a chorus of breathy flutes, swirling and dancing just beyond the glass. The wind sang of distant places, of stars twinkling high above the roof, of moonlit fields. Its melody was cool and clean, a lullaby carried on the night air, promising adventures and dreams rather than the chill of reality. Leo turned towards the window, his cheek against the cool pillowcase, listening to the flutes describe constellations he couldn't tc, but could vividly imagine painting the velvet sky. The gentle tick-tock of the grandfather clock in the downstairs hallway floated up the stairs, measured and patient. Each tick was the clear, precise pluck of a harp string, each talk its resonant echo. It marked the passage of the night, not with urgency, but with infinite patience. Sleep has all the time in the world. It seemed to murmur, let the hours stretch, let dreams unfold. Slowly the steady, celestial rhythm wove through the deeper cello hum, the tap-tap percussion, the soulful bassoon creak, and the airy flute whispers, binding them all together into a cohesive, unhurried flow. It was the heartbeat of the sleeping house, assuring Leo that the peaceful night was long and guard was kept later. As a summer rain began, a soft pitter-patter bloomed on the roof. It started sporadically, then grew into a gentle, insistent rhythm. This was the sound of 1,000 tiny mallets on a marimba, playing a complex, soothing pattern. The rain didn't threaten. It enveloped it spoke of the earth drinking, of gardens sighing with relief, of the world being tenderly washed clean, enclosed within the sturdy walls. Serenaded by the orchestra of his home, the hum, the taps, the creaks, the whispers, the harp-like ticks, and now the marimba rain, Leo felt profoundly sheltered. The world outside was a soft, watery lullaby, the world inside a warm, resonant embrace. His breathing deepened, matching the slow, measured pace of the clock harp. His small form completely relaxed. The storm passed, leaving only dripping eaves adding a final, sporadic plink to the marimba section. The wind flutes sighed into silence. The tapping pipes settled. Even the refrigerator's cello hum seemed to soften into a contented purr. The grandfather clock's harp plucked its steady, slow rhythm, the only sound now distinctly marking the passage of the deep night. Leo, adrift on a sea of blankets, was far beyond the shores of wakefulness. The orchestra of sleeping household sounds had played its nightly masterpiece. Each hum, creak, whisper, and tick, born from the ordinary workings of an old house, had woven a tapestry of sound so profoundly comforting, so rich with unspoken reassurance, that loneliness simply couldn't breathe within its harmonies. Leo slept deeply and peacefully, cradled not by silence, but by the invisible, loving arms of his home's unique nocturnal symphony, a constant reminder that he was never, ever truly alone.